I've got an unboxing to make on this awesome knife. Then I'm gonna disassemble it for the first time because I'm gonna flame anodize the scales because I want it to be like this. Then I'm gonna reassemble it and turn this plain Jane Small Sebenza 21 into something gorgeous like this one. What do we have here? Another unboxing. Another package. So this item came from a fellow knife collector here in the Philippines. A totally awesome guy named Wayne. Perhaps this knife doesn't fit his size preference for his knife collection. I know he's been collecting huge ones. So this is a square box. I usually get rectangular boxes. And square boxes could mean Reeve knives. This is an old box because this is not a new knife. This is a used one. A second-hand purchase. Let's see what's inside. What do we have here? Some documents. I don't really care about this. It says here the knife was made in 2015. So here's my Reeve Small Sebenza 21. No lube. Only the knife and this tool was left. So this one has the plain Jane handle scales. Simple. But with a ladder Damascus blade. This one's in drop point configuration. Awesome Damascus pattern on this one. This scale looks like it has been sanded off. It looked smoother compared to its clip side. Smooth action, as to be expected with the Reeve knives. Yeah, I'm gonna do something about these scales. So to modify the scales, we have to disassemble this. I have no experience in disassembling any Reeve knives. The ones that I had earlier, I wasn't able to disassemble any of them. So I'm just relying on common sense here. I know that this knives is pretty easy to disassemble and assemble. There, I just had to be careful with these small parts that I have to put them in a secure place. It will be a big problem if I lose one of them. Okay, the washers are not the same, are not with the same size. One is smaller. The clip side is a smaller washer. So everything's off now. So pretty simple. Simple to disassemble this knife. Next step is to clean the parts, especially these scales which we are going to anodize. We don't want any oils in it. I wipe them with isopropyl alcohol to remove any grease, any of the lubrication. I had to clean the other parts too. They say that the key to a successful modification is the preparation. And since we are flame anodizing these titanium scales, it would be best if we polish these pieces, titanium pieces. And I'm gonna use first the 1000 grit sandpaper. The most ideal would be to make a mirror-like finish on the surface which we are going to flame anodize. But I don't think I have enough time for that. I don't even have a finer grit sandpaper. I only have this 1000 grit, so I'll just make do with whatever is available. Good thing is that I have this Dremel with a buffing wheel. It helps in polishing the scales, and then I'll just rub some rubbing compound on them using a piece of cloth. I wish I can really achieve a mirror-like finish, but I don't have the equipment, I don't have the time especially. There. So we're preparing our acid bath. I'm gonna use this ferric chloride acid. I'm just gonna pour it on the smaller part of the container because I only got a small bottle. That should be enough for the size of the scales. You may want to wear protective equipment when handling this, especially because we're using acid on this one. So I hanged this titanium piece which I am gonna flame anodize. I just used a thin piece of wire attached to a paper clip. So we will need a torch. We light it up and torch this titanium piece. I don't know what temperature are we gonna try to get, but what I usually do is, if I can see that the titanium is flaming red, and that will be the time that I dip it into the acid. No specific time for exposure to fire. I just look at the titanium piece. If it's already flaming hot like this, down it goes to the acid. Avoid sniffing this steam from the acid bath because it kind of irritates the nose and the eyes. So there, did it color up? Yep. Let's do some more torching. What I usually do is to torch it by area because it's difficult to get the scale heated at one time. So like this, I do first the pivot area and then the clip area will follow, or vice versa. A scale this size, I can just do it twice. I think it turned out pretty well. By the way, this liquid in the bigger part of the container is just water, something to rinse off the acid after dipping it, and also to cool down the titanium that we have just torched. So we do some more torching. If there are areas that are or that have not colored up, you just have to torch that area again and dip into the acid. It will not affect the area that has been colored already. Alright, I think I'm happy with the result. There. So now let us do the display side. I hope to get a nicer pattern on this one. We start with the pivot area. I'll do this in 2 parts. Now it's flaming hot. We dip it into the acid. It's smoking hot. Do not inhale these fumes because it's gonna irritate. It's gonna irritate the eyes and the nose. I wasn't wearing protective gear here. No gloves, no mask, no eye protector. A little bit of stubbornness here. So I'm doing the clip part. It's flaming hot. Let's dip it. There you go. Be careful of the nozzle of the torch. Don't touch it. It's gonna be very hot. Let's give it a good rinse, and there you go. Nice one. I think it turned out really pretty. So here's the 2. Not bad for a mediocre preparation there. I did not polish it really well, but still gave me a good pattern, good coloration. It's assembly time. By the way, I also flame-anodized the clip on this one. So since the washers are out, I will polish them before I install them back. It's gonna help in the action. A little rub of metal polish here. Gives the bronze washers a very nice shine. So this should be an easy task of assembling the Sebenza 21. Now I understand why the action is so smooth, and it's got very tight tolerances. Just make sure the small parts go into their designated places. The smaller washer should go at the clip side. Alright, my always trusty frog lube. I use the paste for the pivot. My first time of disassembling and assembling the Small Sebenza 21. No disaster so far. So everything snapped into their places. I'm just placing now the pivot screw. Like I said, no disaster so far. Couple of wiggling here and there, and everything fell into their places. For the pivot, you just have to make the necessary adjustment for how tight you want the blade to be. Yeah, you can just adjust as to how you prefer it. Too tight and it will not flick, and this is so smooth. This is a pretty ladder Damascus. I have a case cutlery trapper in ladder Damascus. It looks similar. It's put on the clip. Yeah, easy peasy. No hitches in assembling this one. So there you go, everything's tight and secured. So let's check the action. There, it flicks nicely. The anodization, I believe, matches pretty well the ladder Damascus on this one. Pretty knife. Am I gonna carry it? So I'm gonna put a dab of frog lube on the blade because Damascus has the tendency to rust, so you gotta put some protection on it. Look at that. My camera is not picking up the wonderful color of this one. So here's the ladder Damascus and the Flame-anodization on the scales. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Till next time.